Mouse from News fans, excellent news inside of Syria. According to reports, it appears that the FSA may be on the verge of completely falling. The FSA, the terrorist foreign-backed army inside of Syria, is getting ready to make a full collapse. In addition to this, the UN has now agreed that it will start investigating the Syrian so-called rebels for the use of chemical weapons. Now, the UN chemical weapons team did just arrive in Damascus this week. Now, previously, it was reported by the Syrian state media that they found a cache of chemicals and weapons that were in the process of being turned into chemical weapons, and brought that forward in a televised program. I recently just did a video on it, and now it seems the UN is finally starting to take these chemical weapons coming from the Western-backed terrorists seriously. A UN chemical weapons expert, Eke Stellum, has agreed to hold talks in Damascus at the invitation of the Syrian government. He is accompanied by a UN disarmament chief, Angela Kane. Now, it appears that all of a sudden now there want to be talks, when they weren't really there before. Now that the FSA rebels are losing, now there's like peace talks, so we can hold off on violent confrontation until an agreement can be reached. In other words, as soon as the FSA starts losing, all of a sudden the West wants to start talking now. Now, this is coming up because the FSA are losing major battles, and they have now just recently withdrawn from a lot of strongholds they once held. The FSA, rightfully so, are getting their ass kicked. And I, for one, am very, very happy to hear that. One of the main reasons for that is the propaganda put forward by the FSA that the Syrian government is terrible, it's a dictatorship, is starting to fall. Because when the Syrian people see the videos that the FSA release of them beheading civilians, and the really disgusting one of showing an 8 or 10-year-old boy executing a Syrian soldier, beheading him. Yeah, apparently when you go around doing things like that, the public tends not to trust you. Not to mention the fact that there's a huge Al-Qaeda element in the terrorist forces being funded by the US taxpayer. What this demonstrates is that imperialism, in this case, is failing. The contradiction of world imperialism, at least within the context of Syria, is beginning to solve itself. The escalations of the increased antagonisms between the imperialist powers and the national identity of the Syrian people have reached a point where it seems like there's about to be a qualitative change ready to break out. The quantitative changes that have taken place with combat between the government and foreign forces has caused a great deal of strife in the country, and now it appears it's ready to take, or just about ready to make that qualitative change into freeing the Syrian people from foreign terror. Now, Army General Martin Dempsey, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the Obama administration, is now deliberating whether or not the United States should become fully active in the Syrian conflict, which means now they are seriously considering actually bringing U.S. troops into combat into Syria. Now, this demonstrates a definite desperation on the part of the imperialists, on the part of the U.S. government. Their backed forces are failing, and they see that they are about to lose. The contradiction is going to resolve itself in favor of the Syrian people. They're well aware of this. Now, this took place a Senate hearing on, I believe, last Thursday. And in this situation, it's showing that actual military presence is going to be necessary to defend the interests of the ruling elite in the imperialist countries, particularly the U.S. General Dempsey said the administration was considering kinetic strikes in Syria, and the issue is under deliberation inside our agencies of government. In other words, they're really starting to take the possibility of U.S. military action in Syria seriously right now, because they realize their time, all of this that they've been building up to try to throw out the government of Syria, the peace that has existed between all the different religions and nationalities in the country, is about to fall. All this taxpayer money that was spent completely on trying to overthrow the government has all been for nothing, and has accomplished nothing but terrorize and murder the population of Syria. This is very good news. It's dangerous news, but it's good news because it shows that the imperialists are failing in Syria, and that is a good thing.